Okay. So now that you, okay, so this is going to be on a new video. So just to review, you added the remote to my GitHub. So now if you do a git remote -v, now you have the links to both repos. So what, and anyone can guess here, what do you think the command is to get this stuff from my remote from
Git pull upstream.
Yeah.
That's what I said as you left, so I really got that one.
It's true, she did.
Cool. And there you go. Now you can get the changes for you.
Oh, there it is.
Cool. So now let's have you go make a folder with your name. And everyone can do this too. Like you can fork from my repo. You can clone it from your repo. Make a folder with your name. Don't do it in, or yeah, do it in my folder. That's fine. I'm gonna not.
It's not in your folder.
Oh, okay. And then you can go ahead and add whatever you want in there. So add like a file. And then, yeah, just add something in there so it's.
Console
Alright.
log or something.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right.
See, so save that and then. So yeah, now try to do like a git push upstream. Oh yeah, add and commit first. Thank you. Huge changes. So try to push them. Just do a git push upstream master. Yeah, and this makes sense, right? You're not going to be able to push to my repo.
Let's see.
So how are you going to get changes onto this?
I just have to push to my own repo.
Yeah, so push this to your repo. Cool. So now go to your GitHub.
My GitHub.
Yeah, your GitHub, to that repo on your GitHub.
Okay.
I think it's right. Oh, yeah, right there at the top. And see, also there's a, if you notice there's a fetch upstream. You could run that and then you could pull from, you could do a fetch and merge. So that's another way you could do this on GitHub. You could fetch and merge on GitHub and then pull from your git pull origin master.
Let's see.
All right. And then there's another thing that says contribute. So let's look at this contribute. And now you can open a pull request. Cool. And now you can create a pull request.
Why is it called a pull request when it seems like you're pushing to it?
Yeah, it's like like GitLab calls it like a merge request, and yeah,
That's what I was thinking yesterday when we were talking about our project. I was like, shouldn't it be merge requests?
what it's kind of saying. So Joe is making a request to me that I pull his changes.
Oh.
So I
Um,
guess, I don't know, it's how you look at it. He is, because he's not pushing to my repo. Because he can't do that.
I was just thinking he's requesting to push his changes to yours.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he is requesting to push his changes, but but yeah, you could say it that way, or he's requesting me to pull.
Yeah, I like merge requests better. Let's tell GitHub to change that.
Yeah, I like the merge request. That's what it is in GitLab.
I misspelled
You might
something,
hear me call it a merge request, but cool. So now
Yeah.
you can create a pull request.
I misspelled something and had to retype my git push origin master. How did we get to the pull? I didn't see that.
When you went to your repo, so when you went to your fork of this repo and you pushed up, there should be like up above on your repo section, it should
Okay.
say like,
So it's on my repo, not yours. I was looking
yeah, it's
at,
going to be on yours, and there's going to be like that contribute drop down.
okay, open pull. Okay, I see now. Thank you.
Cool. So yeah, and now Joe is done with this. Like,
I need to like, that's done for sure.
what?
I don't need to like add a comment or anything.
You could. So what might happen now? So now I can share my screen.
Okay.
Just kind of going with the flow of this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So now on my repo, I have some pull requests. So I can go through, it's like, okay, it looks like I have 4 pull requests. So I can go through as like, because now I'm like, now no one can push to my like master except for me. Like I'm the one in control of like, you know, what goes in and out to this repo. So now I can go look at this and, you know, I can see, go in and look at this empty file. And now I can be like, okay, like, I can say like, you know what? There are no, there's no code in here. Please add something. So I can like request changes. So now in Sharea's like merge request or pull request, she's going to see this, that like, oh, you know, like this is kind of, I haven't accepted this, but she's going to see like why I haven't.
Can
And
we
then,
can we see Shreya's screen?
yeah, so Sheree, you want to share your screen if you can?
Yeah, I could share my computer screen.
Can you share your GitHub?
Well, I'm only logged on one this time.
Oh.
I can deny someone else's, and if you can't, if I want, so can you share GitHub?
Oh, like my screen GitHub.
You can deny mine if you need to, if she doesn't get hers working.
I'll just
Sorry.
deny Austin's,
Okay, sorry.
and then, no, you're fine. Cool. So maybe I'll go through and, yeah, it's not really deny. I'm just like, I can request changes. I can just also just completely ignore these. But let's go through. Here's Austin. See, I can go through and I can look and see what, you know, what has been done here. And I can like go to a specific line like I can be pretty specific. Like I can go here and be like, hey, what's going on here? So I can like, I can go through and like line by line, like leave responses on like, you know, what's going on here. And then I can request changes. And so, yeah, now, Austin, you want to share your screen? So see, Austin can now go look at that, like where I left, you know, a review. Then he can like reply to a thread here, like he can resolve it, but and then like let's say like I wanted you to add a change, like add another console.log. Because usually like if I should have requested like a change, but so I'm just gonna do this
So,
over
like,
Zoom. But go
in my
back to
code?
your file and add a change.
So,
So that's generally when someone leaves a review, you know, you're gonna want to add a change. So you can just, yeah, it doesn't really matter what you put there. Cool. So now you can push this back up. Cool. Now go back to your GitHub. Now go to your files changed. Like, see, it's at the bottom, or you can look at it's on the right there, files changed. Cool. Sweet. So like it's going to go up there. So now I can, so like it's up on master. So let me share my screen now. So then I could on my screen, well, on my GitHub. So
If you were in like if you just how would you be notified by GitHub that one of your projects had a thing go off? Like if you just barely logged into GitHub, where would it say someone submitted a change or something?
probably in the alerts section in the top right. I also got an email for it saying that he commented on my pull request.
yeah, there's
Oh.
things like I can like on my settings, I can like sign up for alerts. It's also saying like right here, like pull requests.
But if like you were not in this project, like if you just barely logged in and you were like in all your projects, how do you know one of your projects had a change?
You can like set up alerts for that in, let me just see what, if I go to like my GitHub.
Well, yours doesn't have it for some reason, but right next to that little plus arrow, mine has a bell, and that's where all my alerts pop up. Like if anything happens to my repos, it says like +1 right there, or +2 or whatever, and I click on it and it will tell me the changes or anything.
Yeah, I've probably like ignored that, but I would just do it by looking at the either like an email, or yeah, you could set up an alert, or I like have turned off all my alerts because like I've like followed some repos and then my like it was just getting bombarded with alerts. So that you could definitely set it up so you have like, yeah, an alert either through email, and then yeah, you're saying you have a little bell hill that has that what did I call this? But the other way I would do it is just, you know, looking at let's just see settings, like email notifications. Ah, crap. Which one is it? Yeah, so I'm gonna push it, like, so you can set stuff up like that. But I'm not going to. Cool, so I can look at this one now. So if I look at Austin's now, now there's the two changes. So I can approve, so I can review this, but really what I need to do is I need to merge this. So now I confirm the merge, and now, Austin's code is in mine, and I can do that with all the other ones. Merge it. And yeah, if I don't approve it, then that changes just can be made. I can still, even though I requested a change, I can still merge it. And there we go. So now in this, I now have all of those. And then, yeah, this, Austin, you want to share again? So go back to your repo, the forked one. Cool. So another way, yeah, you could do click that fetch upstream button. It's on the kind of this branch. See, now it's saying like, hey, this branch is 6 commits behind the my version. And then there's that fetch upstream.
Fetch. Oh, right here. Okay.
Yeah. So you can do a fetch and merge.
It's blind. There we go.
So now your GitHub has the changes. So if you wanted to now pull these, now you could pull these down from your master. And now your computer, now the repo on your, now your VS Code would have the changes. Or you could add the upstream remote and just do a git pull or upstream master.
Okay.
So yeah, this can be another way you might see, like you go to a place, you go work at a place and you're working on a project and they just have you create a fork of your repo, and then you clone down from that repo. Cool. So, but does Austin, you want to share again? But even even now that you have this your own copy on GitHub, do you think you still need to use branches?
It'd probably be smart just for if you have a team working on it, so you're not like piling on top of each other with errors, possibly.
Well, think about it this way, but now everyone has their own copy of this on GitHub.
Well, I mean, if everyone had their own copy, then I don't think you would need to branch. I was more thinking like we forked from like an actual server, and then we were branching off of this pull or this fork to like for development or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So does that make sense? You don't have, I mean, does everyone like you're on different repos, like GitHub repos, but can anyone think of why you still might want to branch?
Well, before we were branching for each thing in the project. So does that keep it more organized if every every section has its own branch? Because you were saying just to make a branch every time you're working on a different part of the project.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of think about it like this. Let's maybe say like you were working on, let's say almost just, I mean, let's just like, if you're just working alone on a project, you just have your GitHub repo. Could you think of a reason why you might want to use branches?
Maybe if you like completely break something.
Yeah, I mean that's breaking stuff. That's a huge reason to use branches. Just because you always have master that's like master or main that's always like, stable. Another reason might be is you're working on different features at the same time. So Austin, let's have you do this. Let's have you do a git checkout -b with as in boy. And then let's call this like huge. This is a huge feature. Cool. So now let's go make a change in VS Code to like in your example.js. Just leave a comment in there that says, I've done a lot of work that I want to keep, but it's kind of like in this this incomplete state. So it's like, but it's buggy, buggy, not done. And okay, so save this. So let's go up. Okay, so let's think about this. So Austin's done a lot of work. Let's say this is like 3 days of work, and he needs to, and then let's say there's a huge bug in this file, and he needs to fix it. And then also maybe I want to get this code, or I want to see it, or someone else wants to look at it. So what he could do is, so save this. You could do a get, do a get add, get commit, because you don't want to get rid of these changes. This is a lot of work. And now you can push this up to that branch. You spelled get wrong.
Spelled push wrong.
Get pushing.
Get pushing. I can't type today. Sorry.
You're doing it.
And
It's harder to type when you're typing in front of 10 people.
It's huge, right? Because it's the branch.
Yeah, that's the branch name. You could even go in. So, okay, so let's go to that. So now go to your GitHub. So even with this huge branch, maybe you think it's close, maybe not. You could still do a compare. You could still create a pull request with this. Maybe not, maybe you don't want to, but you now have this branch that, you can pull request, but at least now it's also up on GitHub. So like other people can look at it. Other people could technically pull down from it, or like, check, they could like get to this state and maybe continue on working where you were from. But so just create a pull request just for fun. I'm not going to maybe merge it yet, but cool. So yeah, I'm just going to just really quickly, like, request a change on this. But let's say get working. Anyway, so I just submit like a quick little request on that. So if you hit refresh, you should be able to, yeah, so there it is. You can see it. But let's say now, like this, this is still going to take like, these changes for this huge branch, like he still has like a day or two left. But now, I'm like, hey, Austin, actually there's something more important I want you to do because we have a huge bug we need to fix. Actually, because I can say like, hey, when you added, so go back to like your VS Code. I can say like, oh man, that line 2, that actually like broke our whole app. So I need that removed. Okay, but what's wrong with this? What's wrong with doing it that way?
What do you mean? Like just removing the line, or do we want to comment it out so it like still stays there?
No, that line's broken. I need that gone.
Okay.
But what do you have below that line? You have to use your imagination here, but
If
Right.
you like, just deleting the line might not fix it.
no, deleting
Can I-
the line is going to fix it 100%. So I'm making up this bug. Deleting line 2 is going to fix the bug.
Okay.
But
But
what
it'll
the-
break all the
Everything
other
you
code.
wrote after.
but line 3 is not done. Like what I need in master right now is line 1 there. I need line 2 removed. I eventually want line 3 there when it's done. But you just deleted line 2. You still have line 3, which is going to be broken because it's like incomplete in progress. We're not going to like throw that up to master. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So what happens why don't you just delete that line 3?
because we still need to work on that one, right?
Yeah, that's all your code. That's like days
Yeah.
of code.
Yeah, that's all. That'd be like a bunch of shit down here.
Yeah. So this is so do a Command Z to get rid of that. To get rid of the console.log. Because you want that, like, let's leave that there. So save it. So you're in this huge branch, but I need you to go fix this other change. So, and just go to the where it says 1. You've made a change here. Let's just undo that. So just undo, hit the back arrow. Just so, because you've already added and committed this. There's probably just like a new line somewhere. Okay. So now this is where this is another good use case for branching and why branching is useful, because now you can go back to your terminal. You can do a git checkout master. And you can leave huge in that state of like incomplete. Now you can do a git checkout -b. You don't, because now you want to create a new branch. And this
I
can
thought
be
we were
like,
going to go back into the same one. Sorry.
yeah. And no, you're going to create a new branch to work on the bug. So you can do bug. Cool. So now you're in this bug branch. So go back to your bug branch, or your VS Code, I should say. See, now this bug branch doesn't have those huge features, because that's in its own little separate section. So now you can go back to a state from master, and you can go ahead and remove line 2. Cool. Now you can save that. Now you can push, add and commit. Cool. So now you can go back to your GitHub. And you need to go back to your repo, because you now need to make them the pull request for your bug fix. So now you can, yeah, you just remove that line too. All right. So now let me start sharing or share my screen. So now it's like me, James, being the owner of the repo. Now I can, have these, go look at these pull requests. So there's still this one open, the huge changes. And this also, let's also note, this has that broken line, but it also has that one, but this one is not ready to be merged. But then there's this one that has the bug fix.
That makes sense.
So now I can come in here, pull requests. So now I can take this one and I can merge this because this one looks good. I can confirm merge. So now if I go to and think of this the my repo and master branch being this is the end all be all. This one's the stable one. So if I go to the Austin file and go to example.js, this is in the working state. So now Austin, share your screen again. So you once again can go back to your, because now my master, so you kind of, if your huge branch and my master, they're kind of off to date because there's that change that I made that you actually did in your bug branch, right?
Right.
So now you need to go back to your, you could do this two ways. You could do a get pull origin upstream master, or you could do that fix. Well, first of all, you're in your bug branch, right? You don't want to be there. So now you can get check out to that huge branch, because now you're ready to start working. Cool. And now you go to VS Code. Now you're not just going to want to delete line 2, because in theory, this could be, multiple changes from multiple people. So you're not going to want to manually do this. You're going to want to do a pull from upstream master somehow. So there's two ways you can do a get pull upstream master, or you could do it in GitHub. So let's do it from here, get pull upstream master. So you need this. I want to read these. Cool. Now you have a merge conflict. Okay, so you just accepted the incoming changes, but what did you do?
Yeah, we got rid of that line there. The
Yes.
work that we
So you
did.
can always do a Command Z with these. So try,
So is it maybe both changes?
we'll try that one. Well, now you have both
Because
of
then I
them.
still have the
But the point is, this is the way you can, so yeah, this isn't always going to give you the correct. Sometimes just clicking those buttons isn't going to give you the right thing. So you
Okay.
might need to manually go in and see for each, because you've seen these where you have multiple of these, green and
Yeah.
blue. You might need to on each one kind of go through and fix them manually. So for this one, it looks like you need to kind of accept both. And then you realize I don't want that one. Cool. And now you can save. But either way, you've pulled from master. So you're kind of, checking. And obviously, if you did a pull request with that console.log from line 2 still in there, I wouldn't accept it. I'd be like, whoa, that's a bug. So that's like on me as James now to like kind of see that. But now let's just say like you finished. So on line 3, you can just say you finished. Or just say, you just say huge done. Because yeah.
Hug done.
Hug done. All right. And then you can do a git add dot.
Is that what I do? Huge?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we can check out the master again. Yeah.
Yeah, you can check, well, yeah, check out master. And then I could share, let me share my screen. And you know, this might be a point where you would because you already have, actually share your screen again, because you already have this one open. You have this huge, you've already created this pull request for the huge branch, right? So you would probably want to go into like your GitHub repo or like for this branch. Oh, it's right here. Where is it? Find the pull request. So I think it's going to be in my, sorry, pull request. I didn't, yeah, it's huge changes, right? And then like leave a note like, hey, mate, this is done. Will you merge it? Cool. So then, yeah, I can go ahead and share my screen. So now I can go look at it like, you know, I could probably have an alert set up on GitHub. Like if someone like, you know, leaves a response that could either email me or like show up on VS Code. But I would see it like, oh, this is done, please merge. So then I can go review it again. I'm like, okay. Huge done, looking good. And then I could review changes. I might be like, hey, remove that line or, but yeah. Looking good. Thank you. Because usually like if someone's like, if I have a repository, especially if it's like, I just have this open repo and someone's making a pull request, it's like, this is kind of like the open source community. It's like, I just have a repo, someone forked it, they create a pull, like they added some cool feature to my repo and I'm like, awesome, dude, thanks a lot. So I can submit it and then I can merge it. And notice how in this one that, yeah, it didn't have that bug. So that was nice. We got rid of that bug. And
So once you did that, mine popped up, said the pull was successfully merged and closed. And it gave me an option to delete that branch. Is that something we would want to do, or would we want to just leave it?
yeah, you probably want to, it's like, the history is going to be there for it, but yeah, you can delete branches because what happens if you don't delete your branches and you're working on a project for a while, then it's like, you just have like, when you do like a git branch list, it's like, I mean, if you go to like React, let's just go React GitHub, just to kind of show you. Like this has 116 branches. These are like branches that like may or may not like be open. Like a pull request, this is 230 to open pull requests. There's been like 11,000 pull requests. These are probably all their own branches. I don't want to have to go to like, look through all those branches. So it looks like they're keeping open some branches of maybe like the stable versions of React. Like these are the versions of React that they are like not deleting.
Okay.
Does that, but I'm sure what, within these like 16.83, there's probably, all sorts of branches, or were all sorts of branches in this one. So I'd say for now, it's not like huge now that you delete your branches, but yeah, you're going to want to, because they get, there's a lot of them. Cool. Was that like little flow, that's kind of that flow, is that kind of showing like why we use branches, why we might even use like why we might even fork a repo? This is how you can like contribute onto other people's repository. Like you can go to React, you can create a fork of React, make a change, do a pull request, and they can accept it. That's actually like can be a good way to build your resume, is to do pull requests on different repos. Because then someone looks at your GitHub and like, oh wow, this person is contributing to a lot of, not just their, it's one thing to contribute to your own repos, but if like, oh man, you're contributing to all these other repos, that just kind of, it looks good. So I think there's like a easy first pull request list. I feel like there's a list, but maybe I'll try to find that. But cool. Any questions on that? I'll probably, when we like kind of towards the end, I'm going to give you a lot of resources. I have a resource that is like some easy first pull request sites. And I think I even have an article from a person who like, that was one of their strategies of getting a job. It's like, they just saw how many pull requests they could get merged into other people's repos. And then that kind of made their GitHub stand out. And I don't think they were doing anything like really crazy with the requests.
It's like random repos or like people they knew.
Random repos, like, yeah, I mean, that's like, Material React. I mean, you could probably clone Material React down, and if you came up with a good, I mean, this would probably be not, there might be like, so another thing you can kind of do is you can find a repo. You can go look at the issues. Go fix an issue. That can be a lot of them. You go like look through an issue. I mean, Material, this might be a hard one to find, but, or to fix, but, go through an issue, create a merge request for it, or pull request, and Material UI, if they see it fixes it, they're going to, they'll pull it.
How would they be able to test that? Like to see if it fixed it?
How would you be able to test it?
Yeah, like whoever was like approving the merge request. Like,
I mean,
would they just scan over the code, or would they?
I mean, it really depends on the bug. I mean, let's just say like I in my code had like, let's just think of a bug. Like, let's say I have some function. Like I have an add function. And you know, it's like X and Y. And it returns, you know, X plus Y. So yeah, the question of how to test it, I mean, it really just depends. So a lot of these you might have to like, you might even have like a function that's like, hey, and we'll talk about some how we can test functions. But I'm just gonna like do like kind of a very simple test function. I'm gonna test my add function. So I could do something like this, you know, if add 1 and 1, you know, if that does not equal 2, actually I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say past equals true. Okay, so I'm writing a function to test this add function, and what I'm going to assume at the start, assume all tests passed. So what I can do here, if add 1 and 1 does not equal 2, I can maybe do like a log failed at and then I can say like past equals false. So I could go through and I could write a whole bunch of tests for this. And then I can return past. So I can do like, you know, I can do an if statement like if test add console.log, you know, test passed. We're going to use a framework for this. So this is because this can get tedious to like write a manual test. So here's just a basic test. Like I have an add function. I could like try to run this. James. So my function is failing, add 1 and 1. If that does not equal 2, I have no idea why that's failing. What did I do wrong here? Let's do this. Let's just see what this is. I'm a little confused, to be honest. Is 1 plus 1 not 2? What? Really, what am I doing wrong here? Why is that not logging the add 1 and 1?
Because it doesn't want to. I don't know.
Does the first one need to be equals 2 instead of does not equal 2? If add 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, console log add 1 1.
Well, it's oh, I see what okay, yes, I see. It's not there. Okay, so it's a bad message. And this is why we're going to use a testing framework for this. Yeah, I had that wrong, 2 and 4. So I thought I was here, but I'm really failing here because this should be 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. I was like, okay. It's like, what? Okay. So yay, there's my test passed. Right, so my add function is like, I think this is working. So this is how I could have it up. And so Joe, your question was like, you know, how can you like test? How do you know if something's working? Let's just say like this is a code base, like this add function's been working very well. And then all of a sudden, you know, and someone's outside of like the test, like when someone's using it, like later, you know, 2 months later, someone tries to do this. And we get 11. And they write an issue in GitHub. They go to like a GitHub issue. Let's maybe just do this in GitHub. Cool. Let's just do this while we're here. So I'm going to do this right here in my example.js. Cool. I'm going to do a git add dot git commit -m or like add. Now, since this is my repo, I can do a git push origin master. Oh, I have a whole bunch of changes that I need to get because I've merged a whole bunch to my repo. So I need to do a git pull origin master to get all the changes. I need to like figure out what to do about this. Okay. So now I have all the changes. Now I have this. Cool. So now I have this add function. Everyone can use this. But yeah, does someone want to like create the issue for this? We could do that example too, just since we're going through some Git stuff. Anyone want to share their screen? And someone who has this repo?
I can share.
Cool. Cool. So go into like VS Code and do a poll because you probably don't have those changes.
I think I'm up to date, but I'm not sure.
Go to myexample.js because I just made some changes. Yeah, so grab these changes because I just pushed up changes to that file.
I can't remember what it is. Upstream ordinance.
Git pull upstream master. And now you just merge it so you can do a colon, shift colon, and just quit or Q. Cool. Did I not push up my changes? Do you go back? Oh, I didn't. I need to, okay. Git push. Okay, do another pull upstream master. Okay, and do another merge with, okay. So now if you go to my example.js in VS Code, there's my add function. And let's say you can write in this one, this is fine. So let's just go down to line 26. Let's say you do like the add one, like the string 1 and 1. I guess two arguments because it's add takes 2 arguments. So it's 1, 1. And then you like store that to a variable, you know, call it like 2 because you're expecting that to be 2. equal that. And then do a console.log 2. And then you run this. You're already in this folder.
Oh,
So it's just going to be node. You need to go into James. And then slash. Cool. So yeah. So you run this add function, and now it says 11. And you think this is a bug. Because you're like, hey, 1 + 1 should be 2. Right? That's your opinion. That's fine. That can be your opinion. So what you can do is you can go to my repo. So they'll actually just push this up to your do a git add, git commit. Yeah. Go ahead and push.
Push to mine.
Yeah, I mean, you can't push. You
Oh
can't
yeah.
push to mine. Looks like you need to poll again. Just okay. Go ahead and merge it.
How do I merge it?
You need, well, this is like the same message you've been getting the last 2 times. So you just need to exit out of this. Cool. And then, yeah, now you can try pushing up to that branch or to your master git push origin. Master. Cool. Cool. Now you can go to my repo. And you could go to issues. Let's go to that issues. And you can create a new issue. And you can say something like, add not working. That's, okay, so so let me share my screen. So with an issue, so now I can go to my repo, refresh. Issues, add not working. I'm going to be like, okay, want to elaborate, want to tell me what's going on. Like, so when you're, when you do an issue, you're going to want to like kind of explain, steps to reproduce, etc. Like, maybe environment details, etc. Like be specific, and we'll talk more about this when we get to coding, but or when we get to bugs. But let's but let me just say, like, here's what I would maybe do, like, because you did this, like test. This is what you did. You did add one, I would say this is like expected to, and then what you got. I think for this bug, this would have been, Brenda, this would have been like something you might have wanted to include. I know you haven't done an issue though, so it's fine. But this is what I maybe would have added. Like, you know, add is, you know, not working. Results. Slash example.js. Cool. Yeah, exactly. So I could see that, and then I could be like, as the owner, I could be like, I could do one of two things. I could say like, well, you know, don't add two strings together. So it's kind of like me as the owner, like I'm going to decide if this is an issue or not. Well, don't add two strings together. I could say something like that and like close this issue and say, hey, this is not actually an issue. Or I could say something like, okay, yeah, let's have this handle strings. And kind of leave this issue open. Cool. But let's take a break. And then when we get back, maybe we'll have one of you fix this, or I can fix it, or I'll show you. I'll fix it.
What Joe was asking though is if you were just pushing to a random person's repo and they said that they fixed your bug, like how would you know that the person that said that they fixed it is actually fixing it?
Yeah, and that's what, let's look at that when we get back. We've kind of gone a while. So, but yeah, let's come back at 11:15, and then when we get back, we'll kind of look at how we can do this.
Sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, let's come back. Let's call it 11:15.